नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवै गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम. So anyone would like to share what we discussed in our last session? Garima Mataji, would you like to share? Hare Krishna. Okay. Ruchiraji, would you like to share what we discussed in our last session?
Prabhuji, I was just going through my notes only. So we discussed that Krishna wants us to come out of this cycle and come to his heavenly abode. People who are in materialistic world aren't enjoying sense gratification. They miss the real happiness of human life, which is journey of Krishna consciousness. We also discussed, I mean, we primarily discussed about sense gratification and how do we center our life and everything around Krishna. Um in the process of bhakti, sense gratification is the biggest obstacle. Uh, there's no
How
absolute
it is biggest
pleasure,
obstacle?
sense gratification, because we are all glued onto how to satisfy our senses. So we
Mhm.
forget that we are sent to this world for Krishna's pleasure. We start looking for our own pleasure by sense gratification. Then we discussed about in our life we are destined for happiness and distress. Wise person engages in earning the bhakti for Krishna. Uh, we also discussed that ultimate necessity of soul is to attain Krishna prema. Uh, we also discussed about how we can control our senses. When we take complete shelter of Krishna, then we can control our senses only by practicing Krishna consciousness. Through sadhana bhakti, we can come out of sense gratification. Association of devotees, spiritual master, and we tolerate our sense gratification. We inquire about truth, chant holy name, think everything that we think that everyone is part and parcel of Lord. We also discussed about ABCD of KC journey. A is association of devotees. B is books in Krishna consciousness. C is for chanting holy names, and D that we maintain a good diet, which is Krishna prasadam. Yes,
You have a nice prasadam.
yes, I had Ekadashi prasadam, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ekadashi. All right. Yes. Anyone would like to add something in this?
I want to add one thing. You gave an example of a farmer, and all of us are like that farmer where we have to remove the weeds of cultivating the seeds of bhakti. We got the seed of bhakti through Krishna's mercy, but it's our accountability and effort that we have to put in to cultivate that. And removal of weeds is, as Ruchira Mataji said, that coming out of the materialistic sense gratification, association ourselves with that. And then you put ABCD as fertilizer, the ABCD of Bhakti as fertilizer, and continue to cultivate your for Krishna, unless you reach Krishna Prema.
So here I have a question to place. How this sense gratification is considered to be an obstacle as shared. All right, it is an obstacle, but how it is an obstacle for our bhakti, for our devotional life? Anyone would like to share something on this? Yes, anyone?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, it is an obstacle because once we are involved into that sense gratification, that means we are centering towards our own rather than Krishna. So one is that we are doing this with the understanding that we are this body, not the soul. So that is the fundamental disconnect which we are having, and because of which we are getting engaged into sense gratification, and then we will get into the complexities of, we will not be able to come out of this, because Krishna has also told in Bhagavad Gita that all these three modes are because of my energy, and it is very difficult to overcome. But only people who surrender, they will be able to come out. So once we are into this trap of sense gratification, we will not be able to come out. But instead, if we utilize all these senses with Krishna being in the center, then the same thing will become our progress. I mean, will result into progress in our devotional service. Otherwise, it will become obstacle, because then we'll be competing with Krishna indirectly, because he's the only enjoyer, he's the supreme enjoyer. And if we keep on indulging in sense gratification, that means we are also trying to enjoy. So in a way, indirectly, we are competing with Krishna, which is not the, which should not be the case. It is like a farmer who is enjoying the fruits of the field, fruits of the crop on his own, rather than surrendering all the fruits to the owner of the field. So here, owner of the field is Krishna. So whatever crop comes out of that land, it should be given back to the owner, and then owner can actually give something back. So on the same lines, we should give it back to Krishna rather than enjoying on our own. If we enjoy on our own, we will be acting like a thief.
Wonderful, nice, beautifully explained. So, just like we being a jiva, the constitutional position is we are part and parcel of that supreme Lord. Amevamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So, being part and parcel of that supreme Lord, that is our constitutional position. So, it's our duty to serve Him first. Second thing is, just like you have taken an example of a farmer, a crop is there which is growing into that field. Now, what happens when these weeds are grown? Like weeds are also growing, so they subdue that crop. Crop will not grow properly, right? Crop will not get a space, nutrients to grow or to yield or to have a good yield, right? Either weeds can grow or crop can grow. Same way, we being part and parcel of that Supreme Lord, we have a, by default, we have a nature of servitude. We have a nature to serve. Either we can serve a Maya, means we can satisfy our senses, or we can serve Krishna. That is only possibility. If we try to serve Krishna in our current stage, all of us, we are doing mixed devotional service. We are doing mixed devotional service. But gradually, when we engage ourselves in serving the Lord, gradually we'll get purified, and eventually we'll do pure devotional service. But we have to be consistent. So that is something very important, because our energy is very limited. Now, this energy, it is up to us how we want to utilize this energy. Either just like 24 hours are there in our day. So how we utilize these 24 hours is in our hand. That choice we have to make. Same way, we have a limited energy. Either we utilize this energy to satisfy Krishna, to serve Krishna, to develop our relationship with Krishna, or we utilize this energy for gratifying our senses. That we have to decide. That choice we have to make. So this, and in last session also we discussed this thing, how Krishna is sharing in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Shantah pradah chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samado na vidyate. In the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Does not take place. So, to perform devotional service, it is very, very important that one should be free from sense gratification. It will not come overnight, but one has to put endeavors into that direction. That is what is very important. There was some other point also that we discussed in our last session, and that we'll try to connect or continue with our today's class. I'll share the verse. So we'll chant this shloka and then we'll try to understand. All of you please chant. Taktva karma phala sangam
कर्म फलासंगम
nitya tripto nirashraya
तृप्तो
नित्यातृप्तो
निराश्रयः
निराश्रया
कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि
कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि
पर्वतोऽपि
नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
नैव
नैव
किञ्चित्
किञ्चित्
करोति
करोति सः।
Yes, anyone would like to chant this shloka?
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्या तृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्माणि अपि प्रवर्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
Yes, anyone else?
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्ये तृप्तो निराश्रया कर्मणि प्रवर्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
Yes, someone else?
त्यक्त्वा
Please chant. Yeah, Ramchandra ji. Ramchandra.
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
Yes, Ruchi Raji. Chant.
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्या तृप्तो निराश्रया कर्माणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः।
Someone else? Someone else would like to try? Alright, we'll read the translation. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performed no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. Before this verse, Krishna was explaining about karma, akarma, and vikarma. And in that also we understood what is inaction in action and action in inaction. So inaction in action is a devotional service, right? And that Krishna has explained here. One is understood to be in full knowledge whose every act is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be worker whose fruitive action is burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. By the fire of perfect knowledge, these fruitive actions can be burned up. And again here Krishna has brought this terminology, fruitive action. he performed no fruitive actions. What does this fruitive action mean? Fruitive action meaning is our Vedas, they are categorized or they cover three sections, divided into three sections. One of them is Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. Karma Kanda is a section where these fruitive actions are mentioned. It's filled with complete this fruitive action. Karma Kanda means you perform certain actions and in return you yield some results. If I'm doing work, just like some of you are working, doing job, you are doing job because you are getting withdrawing certain salary. Suppose tomorrow onwards your company says so and so, we are not going to give you salary. Will you work? Suppose Deepak ji, you are there and your company says we are not going to give a salary. So will you work for
No,
them?
no,
No.
will not.
Right. That is a fruitive activity. Means in return we want something for us. Either name, fame, or some material gain, like in case of working salary, in case of business also, they want to make profit. It is not like there is no profit, they are going to run business forever. No, they will close down the business for a period of time. Just like many of such examples we have seen in airline industry. There are so many such examples. So many airlines have come into the picture, and after a certain number of years, they are not able to survive. Why? Profit is not there. Same way, our mind is so conditioned. We are so conditioned that each and every action that we perform in our day-to-day life is fruitive action. Even our bhakti is also in current stage is karma mishra bhakti, means there is some kind of fruitive action is involved. Like many of you or many of us, till the time we are getting certain pleasure, happiness by serving Krishna, we are serving him very joyfully. Oh, I'm getting so much pleasure in chanting holy name. I'm chanting 16 rounds, 30 rounds, 60 rounds, no end. Next day, there is no taste in chanting. 4 rounds itself become like a hectic. You're not able to chant even 4 rounds. Sometimes we are chanting 16 rounds, sometimes not even 4 rounds. Sometimes we are doing so much of devotional service because there certain recognition is there. Sometimes there is no taste at all. There is no taste at all. So in our current stage, all of us are doing Karma Mishra Bhakti, certain kind of food, certain kind of recognition, or certain kind of thing we want in return. If we are happy, we'll serve Krishna very nicely, joyfully. If we are sad, not happy, I don't know who Krishna is. I'm not at all bothered. Where is my happiness? Forget about Krishna. Where is my happiness? I'm not happy. So where is the question of Krishna, serving Krishna? So that is fruitive action. Whereas a person who is advanced is free from this fruitive activity or fruitive action. Either things are favorable for him or not favorable for him. He is completely engaged in serving. That's why in bhakti, in a sadhana bhakti stage, acharyas they recommend it's very very important to take commitments. Such commitment help us to make advancement. Just like suppose for an example, some of you have taken commitment that that I am going to chant 16 rounds every day. Now what happens, someday you were little busy. You were little busy in some of your activities, some of your work. You are not getting sufficient time to complete your 16 rounds. So that day, because you have taken commitment, after completing all of your work, suppose 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the night, when you start chanting or resume your chanting, suppose 8 rounds are pending, but with a great struggle when you are chanting, this sincerity touches the heart of Krishna. This sincerity attracts Krishna's attention, Krishna's essence. Because we are committed or sincere to fulfill our commitments. And when we fulfill, even though we are completely tired, we have no energy, but we somehow or other we want to fulfill our commitment, even though we are not getting any taste chanting the holy name. When we chant, we'll see we will attract the mercy of the Lord. We will attract the mercy of the Lord. We'll read the purport first, then we'll try to understand more in detail. This freedom from the bondage of action is possible only in Krishna consciousness when one is doing everything for Krishna. A Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the result of action. Very interesting here to understand. Prabhupada is mentioning here a Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he has no attraction for the result of action. Now, here is a twist if we see. In our day-to-day life, whatever work we are doing, job we are doing, business we are doing, this thing, that thing, we get certain taste or passion to do it because there is some fruit is involved. Something in return we are getting. Suppose just now Deepakji has mentioned, if salary is not there, he will not work. Means certain thing is there in return. Whereas in Krishna consciousness, a person is completely acting on the platform of pure love. In return, he is not expecting anything. Oh, in return, I am going to get this. In return, I want this thing, that thing. No, it is out of pure love. Just like a mother, she nurtures a child out of pure love. Right? Nowadays, yes, when kids, they are rebellious. So parents, they say, we are doing so much for you, but what you are doing, you are just giving pain to us. You are not listening. All different things we expect. But if you see, when child is small, very small, 2 months, 3 months, the mother is doing out of pure love, taking care of that child out of pure. Same way, a person in Krishna consciousness in bhakti, a person acts on the platform of pure love. No doubt, initially, fruitive mentality, because we are so conditioned, out of fruitive mentality will work, but gradually, all of us comes to pure love when we are engaged in the process in a right manner. You can push for a year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. Down the line, after certain time, out of love only you can serve Krishna. If love is there, then you will see entire 24/7. Just like Prabhupada, in a day only 2 to 3 hours he is taking rest or sleeping. At age of 70, only 2-3 hours he is sleeping. Entire day he is completely engaged in serving the Lord. entire day he is completely engaged in serving the Lord. And therefore, such devotee has no attraction for the results of the action. Whatever action he may perform for the pleasure of the Lord, whether results are there or not there, he is not much worried. Just like in this Hare Krishna movement, many a time we perform various services like preaching services, some are doing book distribution services. So Krishna, what he see how much endeavor we have put. In material world, suppose you have studied day and night and preparing for some exam, but by 1 mark, if you are not able to clarify that exam, suppose it requires some 40 marks and you have got only 39 marks, so you will be considered as failure. Whereas in Krishna consciousness, if we have attained 39 marks, Krishna will consider it as a success. And he will give strength to us next time we start from 39 and we go further and attain 100%. It is not like we have to start from zero, just like UPSC exam, IAS, all these exams. Lot of hard work is required. Sometimes they clarify written exam, they fail in interview. This, that. Suppose they clarify this year written exam. So it's not like next year onwards they have to directly interview. Again they have to go through written exam. Same way, this Krishna consciousness is completely averse, completely opposite. From where you have left, you start from there. Because it is not based on results. It is based on endeavors that you have put. Krishna sees the endeavor. Krishna does not see success or failure. He sees what endeavors a devotee is putting to serve him. He sees the sincerity of a devotee. There was one devotee, Sanatan Goswami. He used to every day perform the parikrama of Govardhan. Every day, without any fail. So, gradually he became old. But still he is doing that parikrama with a lot of pain and all. He is doing parikrama. So seeing this, because Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsala, he is the protector of the devotees. He is very compassionate upon devotees. He appeared and asked Sanatan Goswami that I am already pleased by your bhakti. Now you have become old. You no need to do further parikrama. No need to do that. You have already satisfied me sufficiently. But Sanatan Goswami, he is adamant, no, my Lord, I have taken commitment, I will do parikrama without any fail. So he is doing parikrama because sometimes devotees, they are stubborn. They are stubborn. They will not listen to anyone. So like that, Sanatan Goswami, he was doing parikrama. So at the end, what happened? Krishna, he appeared. He gave him one small shila, Govardhan shila, very small, this much, around 2.5 feet, and asked, you do 4 times parikrama of this shila, and it will be considered as whole parikrama of the Govardhan Parvat. And that shila doing parikrama will be having an equivalent result of doing the entire parikrama of Govardhan. So this is the process. This process is so sublime that it is free from all kinds of result. Result is not at all matters a lot for Krishna until and unless our purification is not happening. Suppose a person is there, suppose he has a certain service to perform. He is supposed to clean the temple. But by cleaning the temple, if his heart is not getting purified, means devotion in his heart is not awakening, then it is simply waste of time for Krishna. Like Krishna, for Krishna point of view, it is simply like a wasting of time because his heart is. That's why it is mentioned. No, there is a one verse which goes like this. Forgetting that verse, just a minute, let me collect it. Very wonderful verse it is. It says, भगवत भक्ति हिन्नस्य जाति शास्त्रीय जपस तपस अप्राणस्य हि देवस्य मंडनम लोकरंजनम. If whatever, like we have a good birth, we are doing chanting, we are performing tapasya, we are well versed with all the scriptures, but if all these things, endeavors what we are putting is not helping us to attain Bhagavad Bhakti, it is as good as decorating the dead body. It is as good as decorating the dead body. So all the actions should be performed in such a way that it satisfy Krishna. Sam siddhim haritoshanam should satisfy Krishna. We'll move further. He is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna. Nor is he anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to his best ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is a sign of akarma, or action without fruitive reaction. Any other action, therefore devoid of Krishna consciousness, is binding upon the worker, and that is the real aspect of vikarma as explained here in the book. Many a times when we meet people, different people, so sometimes people they inquire that you have dedicated your life serving the Lord, you must be getting some salary, maintenance, to maintain yourself, some salary you must be withdrawing. You are so educated, this, that. When we say no, we are not withdrawing any salary, we are not getting anything, they get very completely shocked. How it is possible that you are not getting any salary? Everyone is working for money, but here you are not at all working for money. In fact, once my own sister, she asked, how much salary you will get? Okay, you are going to join the temple, how much salary you are going to get? I said, no, I will not get anything. And she was like, why you are going there? You have such a nice job. Why you have to leave your job and go there? I said, I want to serve Krishna. I want to serve the society. I want to spread his message. And she is saying, what you will get then? I said, what I have to get? Everything is there. By Krishna's grace, everything is providing, taking care. Then why I have to worry? Even though suppose just like few years back, there was a corona broke down in the entire world, COVID-19. Even people have lot of money, crores of rupees are there with them, but they are not able to secure oxygen for their loved ones. Everything is there. They are very resourceful. They have lot of contacts. Money is there, but their loved ones are dying because of oxygen, which is freely available. But they are dying because of oxygen. So how much arrangement we may make in our life, if we are not, our life is not centered around Krishna, then all these things has no meaning. Even though we may try best of our capacity to arrange everything, But all these things will come to an end. We cannot carry forward these things in our next life. Whereas a tinge of devotional service that we perform for the pleasure of the Lord, immediately, even though suppose we have done only 40%, next birth onwards you will start from 41%. Whereas suppose you have earned 10 crore of rupees in this life, next life onwards, again you have to start A for apple, B for boy. Then eventually you will start earning money. And based on your karma, you will earn the money. Whereas bhakti is completely different from all these things. And such person is free from all kind of attachments. Free from all kinds of attachment to everything, whatever he may have. Just like Goswamis in the Vrindavan, they were even not attached, because they used to reside under a tree. Suppose tonight they are staying under this tree, they are taking rest. So after 2-3 days they change the tree, so that they are not getting attached to that tree. They keep changing their trees under which they take the rest, so that they don't develop any attachment. In earlier days, people, when they get old, crosses 50 years, they enter into vanaprasth or sannyasa. They used to leave their families so that they don't get attached, and when they are dying alone. Nowadays, we want everyone should be there when I am on deathbed. All my family members should be there. But those days, it was considered, if a person he is not, after crossing 50 years or so, if he is not leaving the family, he used to be considered a very weak person. This person is very weak. Whereas a person nowadays is completely opposite. Oh, my kids should get settled. After that, I want to see my grandchildren. There is no end to it. And we get completely entangled into that attachments. We keep developing those attachments. And all these attachments, if you see, will bring certain kind of disturbance and pain in our life. Will bring certain kind of pain in our life. So these attachments, what is the solution then? How we can abandon all these attachments? When we understand everything belongs to Krishna. Each and everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever relationship I am having, it is by Krishna's grace. He has given all these relationships to me. Krishna has sent so and so person to me so that I can take care of that person, make a spiritual advancement. Krishna has sent certain resources in our life. By Krishna's grace, we have got certain resources in our life. So we should be conscious that these resources in our life are out of His mercy. Whereas there are certain people, they don't even have a food to eat. And such person, they are always satisfied. Just like Sudama, if you see, he was a pauper. He is not having anything with him, but still he is self-satisfied. Pandavas, their kingdom was taken away. They were insulted, but still they were satisfied. It was Krishna who, made an effort that these Pandavas should get their kingdom back. These Pandavas should be established as an authority so that dharma can be propagated very easily. These Pandavas, they lost, just like in our life, if we lose something, suppose if we make a loss in our profit, we'll be devastated. Our peace of mind will be completely lost. If we lose our job, we'll be again completely lost. As though what has some this बोलते हैं ना वो आसमान गिर गया, धरती फट गई, you get completely devastated. And such person is completely independent also, is not at all dependent. Nowadays we are dependent upon lot of things, and such things are referred as asat senya in the scriptures in Bhagavatam. We are dependent upon our relations, we are dependent upon our money, we are dependent upon our assets like some house, bank balance, property, this, that. We are dependent upon our abilities, that I am a strong person, nothing will happen to me. Just like if you see an example of Michael Jackson, he was completely dependent upon his team, that I have best of the team, and this team, with this team I can survive for 150 years without any fail. All doctors, best of the doctors are there. Every time donors are available who can donate their heart, their liver, this, that. But how many years he survived? Only for 50 years. Whereas a devotee who are completely, on the platform, transcendental platform, serving Krishna, they are completely independent. That is the real independence. We say it says Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years, these many years, that many years. Are we really independent? We are not free from the cycle of birth and death, old age, disease. How we can say ourselves we are independent? We are in the clutches of old age. Anyone is here who wants to be old, who wants to get old? Nobody wants to get old. But still old age is coming to all of us. Even though we may not desire. So where is our independence? In the name of independence, we are dependent. Whereas real dependency is you depend upon Krishna. Just like Narad Muni, he is completely surrendered and dependent upon Krishna. And he is able to transfer the entire material creation, even spiritual creation also he is able to do. Vaikuntha also he can do. That is the real independence. And he performs no fruitive actions. One thing Krishna says about fruitive action, I'll share this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, he mentioned this thing. Here it comes. Vidyate hridya granthis chindyate sarva samshaya shriyante chasya karmani mai drishte kilatmani. The note in the heart is pierced. All misgivings are cut to pieces, and the chain of fruitive actions is terminated when I am seen as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is saying, when someone sees as me as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, seeing means recognizing Krishna to be a Supreme Personality of Godhead and acting on that platform. By serving Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can get free from the fruitive actions. Otherwise, there is no way to get free from fruitive action. Because when you serve Krishna, you see in return, you will not get anything. Krishna sometimes he may steal away. Just like in when Krishna was there, he used to steal away the butter. Gopis are, with a lot of love and all, they are preparing butter, but Krishna is taking away their butter. So, in Krishna consciousness, one get completely free from this fruitive action gradually. Move to the next verse. Nirasiryata chittatma tattva sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Such a man of understanding acts with the mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, give up all sense of proprietorship over his possession, and acts only for bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reaction. is not affected by sinful reaction. Even though he is working, but he is not affected. We'll read the purport, then we'll try to understand. A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad result in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that he is the part and parcel of the Supreme, and therefore the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his by choice, but is chosen for him by Supreme, and is done only through his agency. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense gratification. If you see this sense gratification, the root cause of this sense gratification is identification problem. How we identify ourselves. If we identify ourselves, we have this false ego. It is known as false ego. What is that false ego? We identify ourselves to be the body. So what will happen? We'll do whatever is required to maintain this body or to fulfill the desires of the senses of this body to satisfy this sense. Just like suppose you are there, you are driving a car, going from one place to another place, and you are very much attached to your car. You are very much attached to your car. So suppose someone comes and hit your car, immediately you will identify yourself to be a car and you will fight with that person like anything. Or suppose when India-Pakistan match is happening, thousands of problems are going at your home. But when India wins the match, you feel as though you have conquered the entire world. Why? Because you identify yourself as an Indian, even though thousands of problems are there in your house. But when India wins the matches, you feel as though I have conquered the entire world. What is the problem here is problem of identification. Same way, why we indulge in sense gratification? Because we identify ourselves to be the body, and that is the root cause of gratifying the senses. If one wants to really measure his spiritual advancement, how much he is making advancement in his spiritual life, can be measured just by how much distaste, how much disinterest he is developing in gratifying his senses, or how much control he has over his senses. That is the simplest way to determine one progress in spiritual life. And this sense control or sense gratification, control over sense gratification is possible only when we have a strong character. When we have a strong character, then only it is possible. Otherwise, how much endeavor you may try, how much knowledge you may have, this will not have help until and unless you have a strong character. And this strong character can be developed with the help of knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, with the help of sadhu sangha. Because when we are in the association of sadhus, we understand what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. So what happens when we act according to Guru Sadhu Shastra? Our tendency to perform sinful acts get minimized, and we develop a strong character. And this strong character is only possible when we develop such wisdom, and such wisdom one can develop with the help of Guru, Sadhu and Shastras, with the scriptures, with to the association of sadhus and by following the instruction of bona fide spiritual guru. Then one will get a wise, and when one is getting wiser, he'll develop that character, what to do. There is one saying, character is what you do when you are alone, not what you do when you are in this world or in front of the people. Just like in India, there are so many saintly people. They indulge into so many, intoxicants when they are alone. And in front of others, they make a show that we are the very exalted devotee, very exalted personality. So that is a character problem. We'll move further. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, similarly, a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in transcendental loving service of the Lord. In previous verse session, we understood how atyahara prayasascha, over endeavoring, can be detrimental to our spiritual life. Many times we put a lot of endeavor to acquire some material assets, and when we put such over endeavors, we do such over endeavoring, so what happens? We will lose opportunity to make advancement in spiritual life. Whereas a devotee, his life is just bare minimum things he will do to maintain his body and soul together. Rest of the time he will utilize in serving Krishna. Just like there was a Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami. He was from very nice family background. But when it came to maintain his body, he used to drink a glass of buttermilk on alternative days. Because to maintain body and soul together, you just need a very small quantity of food. Whereas nowadays, each one of us, or most of us, not each one of us, most of us are living to eat. And not eating to live, but living to eat. Let us eat as though we are not going to get it next time. As though we are not going to get food tomorrow. We eat like that. Whereas Krishna, will see, Krishna covers this concept of eating also. Eating should be regulated just to maintain body and soul together. One should eat. One should regulate the work. One should regulate the sleep. One should not sleep more. One should not sleep less. One should not eat more. One should not eat less. One should not put so much of endeavors also when he is working. Many times, like most of you and some of you are doing business job, we get so much absorbed, forget about our spiritual life. Our health is also getting so much disturbed. We are compromising our own health, our own lifestyle. We are compromising because we are so much absorbed and engrossed in putting so much endeavors while working. Read further. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his body. A cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kills the animal in his possession, yet animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna conscious person fully engaged in self-realization has a very little time to falsely possess any material object. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not therefore become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reactions to his actions. A person who is practicing Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada is mentioning here, has very little time to falsely possess his material objects, any material object, to the extent his body. He is very, very well aware that this body does not belong to me. This body has been given to me by Krishna. For what purpose? To serve him. That's why Vaishnavas, devotees, they apply tilak on 12 parts of the body. Treat this body as a temple of the Lord, where Lord is residing as a Paramatma. This body is also given by the Lord. They have this kind of consciousness and they utilize this body serving the Lord Krishna, and they does not indulge in acquiring money by unfair means. Whatever little they get, they maintain their body and soul together and engage their time in Krishna conscious activities or in bhakti. They are free from all such sinful reactions. By doing so, they are free. Just like if you see in Vedic times, some few centuries back, people used to do farming, maintain their cattle and all these things, and rest of the time, whatever time they have remaining, time they utilize in doing Krishna Katha and engaging themselves in spiritual activities. They are engaged in spiritual activities. They are not at all worried or considered about their maintenance. Just to maintain, they will do little bit of work. That's why it is mentioned, even though just like we devotees, we also may do the activities just like to construct a temple. We may also go to municipal office. We may also go to advocates, this, that, so many such activities we may do. But all these activities, the difference is a normal materialistic person is also doing the same activities. We are also doing the same activities. Superficially, it may look the activity is same. But for what purpose this activity has been performed, that makes the difference. Just like a person who is there on the border, or a person who is there in some gang, he is also killing some person who is there over the border. He is also killing some person, and a person who is a criminal in a gang, he is also killing some person. But whereas this criminal is put behind the bars, and the person who is standing on the borders and killing other enemy or some person, he is awarded. He is awarded. Activity is same, but result is different. Same way, when we perform activity in relation with Krishna, centered around Krishna, we get free from the reactions. That's why it is mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Tera Kriya Mudra Vigneha na bujaya. Even the most intelligent person cannot understand the words, activities of a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness or a person who is a devotee. Even an intelligent person cannot understand. There was one thief. He used to steal. He used to rob the people. And whatever he used to rob, he used to give away in service of Krishna by serving sadhus, by serving the devotees. He is one of the great Alvar, Triumangai Alvar. He used to steal. For what purpose? So that he can serve the Vaishnavas, he can serve the devotees, he can serve Krishna, Krishna's devotee. That was his intent. He was so much engrossed. He is doing stealing, but what he is doing, for what purpose? To serve Krishna, Krishna's devotees. So one day Krishna himself came and he even robbed Krishna. He took away Krishna and Mother Lakshmi. They were there and they were having lot of bullock carts filled with gold and various such precious metals and stones. And he was so happy that now if I steal these couple, I will have sufficient wealth to serve the devotees. There are some other alvars also. They also rob people to construct a temple. Now this alvar, he went and he took away all the possessions this couple were having, but he could not take out the toe ring of this lady. He's trying his best, but he's not able to take out that toe ring. So at the end, what he did, he tried with his mouth to take out this ring. As soon as he touched his mouth, what happened? He had a darshan of real Lakshmi Narayan. So Krishna, because he was so much absorbed in serving the devotees that he forgot, even though that activity is abominable activity, is stealing, robbing the people. But Krishna, he was so much pleased by his service that he personally came to give the darshan. Now here, don't take it otherwise, that you also start stealing tomorrow. No, we should not do stealing. We should do sat karma. Those devotees, they are on transcendental platform. Even though they may steal, they will not incur any reaction. Whereas if we steal, forget about reaction, we'll get don't know what all things. So we should engage ourselves in pure activities for the pleasure of the Lord. And when we engage in such a way, we will give up this sense of proprietorship over possessions. Whatever possessions we may have, either it is there or there, will not worried much. Will not be worried much. Will be satisfied in whatever situation we may have. Tomorrow we have crores of rupees, we will be happy. Tomorrow we may not have even a penny, then also we will be happy. There are Goswamis like that. Sudama also you see. Pandavas you see. So that is a life a person can have which is free from such, free from all such dependency. And when you have such life, you will experience each and every moment a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of satisfaction. And such life is sublime life one can have, that is the real independence. With this, we'll end here. If anyone has any questions or anything to share or ask, please feel free to share or ask. Yes, any questions? No questions. All right. With this, we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
जय
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण
Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण